The Chaser Report is recorded on Gadigal land.
Striving for mediocrity in a world of excellence. This is the Chaser Report.
Dom here. Charles is still busy, of course. So my news is that I'm in bed. I'm sick. I'm suffering. I've got Tilly's fever. Matilda's mania has been affecting me. And so, yes, no new episode for you today. By the time this comes out, we will know a bit more about the calculus for the Matildas to go further in the Olympic football competition, Australia's finest and most beloved national team. But let's look back today in honour of that. At the time, Charles and I tried to get on board Tilly's mania. And in fact, we both went to the crucial World Cup semi-final at the Olympic Stadium in Sydney. And a kind listener, in fact, gave me a free ticket. So the podcast sometimes comes good for those of us. Thank you for that. That was a wonderful moment. Nevertheless, producer Lachlan is planning to get up at 3 a.m. and watch it. I may well too. We'll see how we go. But nevertheless, let's look back at the shameful attempt Charles and I made to get on board the Tilly's bandwagon. They swept aside Zambia. I really hope they can continue to kick literal goals in Paris.
Welcome to a very special afternoon edition of the Chaser Report as we anticipate the semi-final of the Matildas tonight.
Yes, it's bandwagon time here at the Chaser Report. Charles and I are fully on the bandwagon for the Women's World Cup 2023.
And we're renaming the Chaser Report the Tilly Report.
The Tilly Report, absolutely.
Yeah. To try and juice our numbers.
By jumping on the bandwagon. And look, we're not the only ones doing it. The whole of Australia. There's a small hardcore group of people such as comedy writer Beck Shaw who've been very big on the Matildas for decades plus. To them I say kudos.
Yes.
You were right. At least we're here. It took us a long time, but we're on board. Let's crack into this after this.
So, can I tell you the most exciting thing that's happened to me this century?
This century?
Yes.
Wow.
I saw Ellie Carpenter this morning walking along the street.
You did not?
I did.
What's she doing walking along the street? What if she trips up?
Well, exactly. Why didn't she have security guards?
What if a passing English player
I think if she tripped
comes and takes her out?
No. She was just I was riding my bike in Pyrmont and she was just walking along the street next to the Star. So I think that they must have been staying in the Star last night or something.
Oh, in the casino?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a dangerous place to put athletes. Although, this is the good thing about the Matildas. This is one of the reasons why we love them so much. Is if you put any other men's team there, you'd think they would have all been up till 4 a.m. gambling and drinking and God knows what.
And raping. There's no sense that any of them rape.
Yes, it's good. It's quite different from the NRL, isn't it?
Very refreshing.
Yeah, no, it is good. It's a wholesome team. It's a family team. It's a team that seems, as far as I can tell, to be entirely free of assholes. How did they do that? Is it just that they're women, or is it that they're great women? I suspect it's a bit of both.
I think it's just that they're women. It's just
I do remember,
ordinary
Charles,
women are just better.
On the first day of my criminal law class, our feminist lecturer came in and said, criminal law is essentially the study of men. And so it has proved to be. Don't send us emails saying not all men are criminals. Just most.
Yeah.
Just most.
And also, not all women aren't assholes. I mean...
Oh, sure.
You know, my wife offered me a mushroom risotto the other day.
Actually, I'll tell you what, I really think, not that we need this to win the game, I'm sure, but wouldn't it be wonderful if some English fan had just delivered a bunch of good luck mushrooms? Maybe we've got time before the game, actually, to just find out where they're staying. Just look, best of luck, Lionesses. Not the death cap ones.
Why not?
You don't want them to die.
Okay,
you just want them to be violently ill.
No, we want to win in a fair fight, Dom.
Do we? Do we though?
So, but Dom, you know, I think you made some pathetic plea a few days ago, I think on this podcast, saying you didn't have a ticket. Update us on...
It wasn't just on this podcast. It was on many different places.
Right.
Someone emailed this very morning and said...
On our podcast email?
Yeah, on our podcast email, and said, look, words that I never thought I'd read. The most surprising part of the email was actually, I'm a long-term fan of yours in the Chaser. Not the ticket offer, which followed. Enormously kind. A big thanks to Paul.
So you're
didn't
going?
believe it.
You're
I've
going?
actually got the ticket here.
So it's basically you've lucked in by being essentially a celebrity.
I didn't know that you could get anything good out of being a podcaster. I mean, I know that people in the media world in general, you know, lots of VIP things. I didn't know that podcast listeners, ordinary podcast listeners, would email you tickets.
You've joined.
I've got this. Look at that. Australia versus England.
You've joined the P list.
The P list. Fantastic. So look, it's a glamorous profession, podcasting. But no, I'm absolutely touched at Paul's generosity. There was a caveat though, Charles, and I just want to mention this in case I die at Stadium Australia tonight. I want these to be.
What's the caveat?
The caveat is as follows: we're up high, sitting with the England supporters, as my sons did get these tickets by using the special code, which I understand has caused some controversy. So there may be some banter, in inverted commas, heading our way. So presumably,
they're wanting you there for your witticisms.
No, they're wanting me there as a human shield. Does Paul not know that English soccer fans are stabby? They've not heard of the hooligans and the violence. Like, I'm hoping that in Australia that's not the case. But sitting with English soccer fans, it's not just about the banter. They're not like the Barmy Army. They're not bringing trumpets.
Yes.
English soccer fans famously bring stilettos.
Yes.
So we'll see. So I'm still going to wear my gold jersey because I have to represent, but I may also bring an England one just in case I need to put it on at some point during the game. Just to I've got English heritage.
Brave Dom. Turncoat.
So we'll see how that goes. But no, it's enormously exciting. And Paul also says that 2 of his sons are also referees like I used to be back in the day. So what a beautiful idea. We'll talk about the finer points of referee, which I presume will be a very sophisticated discussion about, do you think that was ever so marginally offside? Or the more conventional approach, Charles, which is going, bullshit, ref!
So the thing that I'm looking forward to, because I'm also going tonight, is
amazingly enough,
not having to listen to the Channel 7 commentary.
Oh, what a
while I watch
plus.
the game, because I think I'll learn more. I've decided that actually the commentary is so bad that it actually subtracts from your knowledge of soccer as you're watching it. So you end knowing less about soccer.
That's probably true. You know that in some stadiums, and I don't know if they still do this at the cricket, but certainly at the Test, they used to sell earpieces that gave you the live commentary, and you could choose not only from like the ABC ones or the ones on AM radio. They even had a special broadcast of the Channel 9 TV commentary. And so I wonder if they'll do that for Channel 7. And I would particularly like to have the internal monologue of the commentators going, who's that? What's happening? Why are they all standing in a line? Is that a wall? Are we calling that a wall? Why are the balls round? I thought the balls were oval shaped here at the Stadium Australia. So yeah, that would be very exciting, I think.
And then the final thought for tonight before we all go, and we should just make this a short podcast.
Yeah, let's make it short.
I mean, this is just to basically cash in on the Matildas.
Just to get some points.
Who's going to win?
Who's going to win? Well, Charles, there are some... I've got the 5 burning questions I've just ripped from the Sydney Morning Herald. Shall we go through the 5 burning questions?
Okay, that's a good idea.
The question 1, this is from Emma Kemp's article. Well done, Emma. We're just doing what you did and cashing in on the Tillies for clicks.
We're also cashing in on
your research.
Research,
who are the favourites?
Ellie Carpenter.
It just says...
who are the favourites in terms of the team?
Mary Fowler, please. Sam Kerr, but also Mary Fowler has been amazing. But no, depends who you ask. So she's hedging a bet. It's first sentence of the article. England are the reigning European champions.
They got 4 injured though, don't they?
They've only been beaten once in 37 games under their current coach, Serena Wiegman, by the Matildas.
By the Matildas
in a friendly. So they're higher in the rankings and so on. But I mean, we're at home in Australia. Plus, we're Australian and they're English, so we have the psychological wood over them.
I think, though, it's drizzly and cold today in Sydney.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
And that is basically England.
It is England.
And so I kind of feel like, whereas we would normally have the home ground advantage...
In a beautiful, sweltering Sydney
we've
evening.
Basically recreated home ground advantage for England.
Except that a lot of our players play in England. So they'll have the combination of being used to shit conditions, plus the high roar of the home crowd. I mean, Sam Kerr plays for Chelsea. Mary Fowler, the amazing Mary Fowler, plays for Manchester City. So she lives in the north of England, which is... And if you've been to London and thought the weather's shit, you've got to remember that most of England is further north and therefore that much worse. So next question. How will Tony Gustafsson manage fatigue? Now, this is the man who does not like to substitute players.
Yes.
He just tends not to do that. So as a result... all of his stars are exhausted. Well done, Tony.
So apparently, they have this new technique that gets rid of bruises.
Really?
Yes.
I have seen. He's been talking about the triple SM a lot.
Ooh, what's that?
The sports science and sports medicine.
Yeah,
team.
right. Yeah. And so they do some sort of massage on everyone's bruises straight after the game.
Yeah.
And so I think that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, here's the thing. We've got to talk about the elephant in the room, don't we? And the elephant in the room is Sam Kerr.
Right.
Who has...
She'll start on the bench. She'll come off the bench.
The thing about Sam Kerr, we've got to be honest, she played for most of the last game. There are a few moments of brilliance, but she certainly didn't grab the game by the scruff of its neck. This is the time for Sam Kerr to be Sam Kerr.
No. We've got to save her for
the final.
For the final. Yeah.
But bring her on, 50 minutes like last time.
Yes.
She'll have time to create some goals if we need them. We may not need them, but this is the time. She'll have the freshest legs of just about anyone out there.
Yes.
Also the sorest legs based on the calf injury, but we'll see. But the good news is that Lauren James, who is the young kind of Sam Kerr equivalent, she's suspended.
What?
She got a 2-match suspension for committing a professional foul 2 games ago for England.
Oh, right.
So Lauren James, who is brilliant,
brilliant.
won't be there. So if we win,
yes,
we need to make sure we say to everyone English we know, oh, such a pity Lauren James couldn't play.
Yes, that's a good idea.
She would have won it for you,
yes,
but unfortunately she was suspended.
Yes.
But she'll be back for the third place playoff, England, so you'll have her back to try and get third.
That's good. Yeah.
Good stuff. Who is in the opposing dugout now? Serena Wiegman is an amazing coach. Not going to help them up against Australia. And finally, what if it goes to penalties? Look, Mackenzie Arnold, she's the best in the world. Yeah. I don't know if that's technically true, but I'm calling it best in the world at penalties.
Yes.
Except taking the penalties. but best in the world at saving the penalties and basically saying chilled out.
But I kind of think even the kick where she just hit the pole.
Post.
Afterwards she said, I think I just sliced a little bit too much. And you're just going, but I reckon kudos for... Like that was a fucking fantastic kick. Except
it was
the fact
very
that it didn't
close.
Go in. Yeah,
but also
that would have been the world's greatest kick.
It would have won it. And here's the thing: she was cool enough to be number 5. Like Gustafsson said, you're going to be taking the crucial thing. Yeah. Goalies don't normally take penalty kicks, right? Yeah. They normally just save them. And she was so cool that not only did she nearly get it in, and in the pressure one,
yes,
the 5th one, but she then turned around and saved.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when she had that penalty disallowed for coming off the line.
Yes.
She saved it again. Yes. How cool is that? I wish I was as cool as Mackenzie Arnold. Yes. That's my new benchmark of coolness, along with Paul, who gave me the ticket.
The Chaser Report. News a few days after it happens.
So, Dom, before we go, who are you supporting tonight?
Obviously England, because I'm sitting in the England area.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I kind of feel like, the Tillies are a little bit... it's all a bit overblown.
I mean, everyone's it's just a bandwagon now, isn't it?
Yes.
It used to be that it was edgy. Like I was watching them in the last World Cup. I watched most of their games in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
That was more niche. It's like when everyone's into your favourite band. Like all these people I know who loved Nirvana until Nevermind and were just like, oh God, so overexposed.
Yeah. It's like Melbourne's laneways. Right? You go there, it's nice for a while, but then you go, oh come on.
Yeah. I mean the Matildas were good, but I think now that everyone knows the names of the players, I feel like I knew the names of the players like a day earlier than everyone else. And it's just getting to, I don't know.
Yeah. And they need to be brought down a peg.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I think that's right. They're getting too arrogant. They're getting too big for their boots.
Well, based on the talk back that we had last week, which was very enjoyable. We're going to do it again at Thursday, 3 p.m. Sydney time, by the way. Look for the socials for a little bit.
Now we got some complaints about holding it at 3 p.m. because everyone, I think Kelly actually texted me saying that is literally pick-up time for people, like especially, mothers who are picking up their kids from school.
Yeah.
So, to which I say... Sucks to be you.
To which I say, put your kids in after school care. I'm going to go straight from that recording to pick up my child from school.
Or just, let them just wait. Say, sorry, there's more important things in life than you,
Or pick them up, and then put them in the car 3 minutes later or on speaker on your phone and join the Zoom.
Yes.
Make the child endure the swear. That could be a problem. use headphones, but listen to the. Just make them wait while you join us.
But they're going to learn appropriate places for
So we're going for England. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
We're going for England just to be different, a bit controversial.
This episode Go England?
Go England, yeah. That would be great. But no, in all sincerity, if they win, it will be the greatest moment in Australian sport that I can remember.
And if they lose, we won't discuss it anymore.
If they lose, I mean, look, it was good while it lasted, women's sport, but I think we can safely say that it's finished.
Yeah.
The other thing is it will clearly now cost us a public holiday. I mean, they owe it to the nation, basically. We've made it so that the Matildas are arseholes if they don't give us a public holiday.
Yeah.
And that was not sensible of Albo, frankly.
Oh, it was a terrible idea.
It was a really silly idea.
Yes, it
but
should have
that's
just
where we
been
are.
a nice surprise at the end.
Yeah, it should have been. In spur of the moment, oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm actually with Daniel Andrews on this one, which is he hasn't announced whether he's in favour or not because he says, I don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it. Malinowskis from South Australia said the same thing.
No, Malinowskis said he's not going to do it.
Albo's taken it off the agenda for National Cabinet as
God,
well.
Yeah.
He said,
"Well, but what other more important pressing issues like housing could there
he
possibly
he
be?"
literally said housing. He wants to talk about housing instead. I say that's not as important as the Matildas.
Yeah, is he Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister of Australia, or is he Max Chandler Mather, person who whinges about housing all the time?
Got to work out who you want to be, Albo. And look, on Monday, after the World Cup is over, one way or the other, housing will be more important than the Matildas because the bandwagon will have finished then.
Yes.
We need to understand what's going to happen. And if the Matildas want to be treated the same as the Socceroos, which they do, which they should be, in the interest of equality, Charles.
Yes.
What happens is, at about midnight on Sunday night, okay, if they win, maybe they get extra 24 hours. But we all forget about soccer for 4 years until the next World Cup. That's what equality is.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like
That's what we do for the Socceroos. They stop the nation when they're in the World Cup.
Yes.
We couldn't give a shit the following week. That's just Australia. We didn't make the rules.
Yes, that's right. Although, if England win tonight and then win on Sunday,
We can't have that
we should have a public holiday
because we're part of
because we're
England.
colonised by England.
You know what? I got to say,
We've got the same king.
if we, who will be supporting England, by the way, all the way through, we've got to be clear on this, Charles. Let's draw a line in the sand. If England win this game and go to the finals of the World Cup against Spain, we have to do everything we possibly can to stop them from winning. We have to.
Yes.
Everyone who works at the hotel
Yes.
has to keep them up. Everyone who cooks their food has to mushrooms because we can't have England winning a World Cup in Australia.
No.
That is the worst possible outcome of any team winning it.
Yep.
You know what you have to do, Australia. They won't win.
Well, what
Matildas
they
will
should
win,
do
but-
is, if Australia looks like they're going to lose, at the 85th minute or something, it's all. What they should do is they should just start kicking everyone in the shins.
I
and
think,
stuff.
I think, Charles, it's on us,
Yeah,
as
just
will be at the ground, to lead
a whole lot
the
of
entire,
professional fouls.
lead the entire stadium in a massive pitch invasion that means the game has to be called off.
Oh yes.
I think that's
the power of collective
about
action.
85 minutes in.
Okay.
If the Matildas are behind, we've just got to rush the pitch.
That's
everyone.
it. That's
you
it.
Can't have
Match abandoned.
Match abandoned. Let's have a replay.
Yes.
And if you can possibly, I'm not saying injure English players. I'm just saying if you find a way to slip them some mushrooms or just something so that there's only
something plausibly deniable.
They've got a squad of 23 players. If there has to be a replay and they've only got 8, they can't play. They'll have to forfeit the game. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Like Donald Trump, no responsibility. I'm just unleashing the mob.
Yeah.
But I don't want any accountability later. Okay, it's on you.
Yeah.
All right.
This is just like you spitballing.
It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm so glad we're going to be there.
I'm looking forward to the pitch invasion.
I'm looking forward to the beer.
So who do you reckon's going to win? You got to put it down.
I reckon it's going to be 3-1 to the Matildas. I think they're going to boss it.
Yeah, I'm saying 4-1
Okay.
to England.
4-1 to England. All right, here you go. Gear is from Road. We're part of the Iconoclast Network, and apparently our World Cup tickets come from Pity. Thank you.